Audio works. Are we live? We are live. I have to make a couple notes real quick. One more note. Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at this board right here. This board pretty much just intermittently does not post. This is an 820, I think it's an 820-00923-A, so this is the same, pretty much the same as a 820-00239. The only difference is I think the 239 uses a Skylake CPU and this uses a KB Lake CPU. So we're going to take a look at this. Let's switch over. Okay. Cormac says, is that the same shirt you had 2 years ago? Probably. Caroline is here. Cam is here. Okay, so let's have a look at this board. So this has intermittent posting issues. Generally with that, if it's intermittent, it could be most likely just corrosion under stuff. Usually nothing too bad. Usually it's just corrosion under stuff. One second. Why do I stream and start getting messages? Every time. So, intermittent posting issues is generally caused by stuff like this. You see the junk under stuff? Anything like this can affect posting. So, what tends to happen is you'll get some skewed communication between stuff, it doesn't pass post, and there you get your issue. So these CD3215s are of no concern because they are underfilled. I'm not concerned about these. This stuff, like crosstalk between this, can probably cause some posting issues. This would most likely be just fine out of ultrasonic, but we're going to give these areas some localized reflows. Any BGA chips like this for SSD, that can definitely cause no posting. So we'll give this area a reflow. I don't really think much of this has to be replaced. These caps I will replace because they're bridged from corrosion, and I don't like that. These could short over time. That's a filter that can stay. Those will probably go. This area most likely just needs a good reflow, so some of these caps can probably be replaced. This is a sensor chip. I don't think this is bad. We'll find out. Some of these guys can be replaced, but otherwise just a good general cleaning should do this board fine. This does not look too good. Let's see. Okay, corrosion on these pins, nothing too crazy. Flux, ultrasonic should fix that. Yeah, just a little bit of oxidation. Those will be fine. So yeah, this board isn't too bad. So generally what I'm thinking, and also, oh boy, this has to be replaced for sure. This connector has to be replaced. Yeah, or not. No, I think that's just junk in there. I don't think that's actually bad. So same thing, flux actually, is it? Yeah, that burned. That burned. Alright, so otherwise, just a few issues on this board. Given the fact this connector burned, that kind of just took all my motivation from working on this board. Let's see. Let's see if I can salvage this. Alright. So this is my main concern now, and let's look at the port. So this is the one port I took out. Let's have a look at the port. I don't know if I want to replace that port. Those ports are generally a pain. And where is that port? That's still in the machine, which is right here. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is burned. I'll take it out of the enclosure and have a look. Pure novice here. I'm using an electric screwdriver now. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that burned. Actually, it didn't. It just looks like oxidized junk. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little flux on that and clean it up and see what we get under that. So that's what I want to see, is what's under that after we clean that all out. I may even use a toothbrush and a little bit of alcohol. But let's start and just clean this off. So we'll get some flux in here, heat it a little bit. Not enough to melt it, but enough to get rid of the junk. Let me turn on my fume extractor. Why is my SSD on the floor? That's how it gets broken from running it over with the chair, because that happens all the time. Lower my temperature significantly, around 260. Should be enough just to reflow those connections and get rid of the junk. And that shouldn't be enough to actually melt the connector. And that does not look too terrible now. That one pin doesn't look great, but I think it still has a connection. I think I can make that work. I think it just oxidized. None of the other pins look too burned. So I think this will be just fine. Let's just do a little scraping here. So we also don't want to damage the connector too bad by scraping. Actually, I'm going to use my meter lead because the meter lead is a little bit more narrow and I could probably get in there better. Actually, no, it's not. The meter lead is actually much thicker than those needles. I mean, the tweezers. So I'm just gonna carefully go in here. I'm also gonna fill this area with alcohol. If there's alcohol in there, it'll help wash away the junk that I scrape. So I'm pretty sure, I'm going to look at this after ultrasonic, because there's definitely pins there, and I think after good ultrasonic that should be just fine. Hit it with contact cleaner. The contact cleaner isn't going to do much more than the alcohol and scraping is going to do. So the next area I'm going to work on is just this area. Let's see how this looks after some flux, and go from there. So put a good amount of flux, and I'll just give this whole area a good reflow, a complete reflow, so all the solder joints are liquid again. And I'm pretty sure we'll be okay here. Any news about forum? Is it still? It should still be up and fine. The forum should still be fine. I believe I worked everything out with PayPal. See up here now. I'm not sure. Is everything? It looks like everything's been okay. So these little guys can go. These are gonna be, I believe, well, I know for a fact what these are. These are just for smoothing for Wi-Fi. We can get rid of these safely. But the thing is, I don't want these to short because I believe these are on PP bus. All the other caps in this area, these guys I'm gonna replace. This chip looks okay. The rest of these look fine. Touch that one up a little bit, but nothing looks too bad. So just these guys and these two right here. Let's do that now. Honestly, these both I probably don't even need to replace, but I will. I'm just going to take off everything I don't like, then go back and rebuild it. Actually, that's a bad idea. Too close to that connector. Need to reorder this flux. It's just been hectic lately. Okay, this area looks okay now. That cap can stay. So can this one. So I'm gonna come back to this area. This stuff, I'm just gonna touch up. That resistor is likely fine. We'll see once we put a little flux on it. If we can get a nice solder joint on the resistor again, it's fine. And we can. I'll fix that. Let me fix that. Did Amtech get back to you or Lewis, or has gotten any new stuff in? What do you mean Amtech got back to me? I asked them about what happened with 559. They never responded, so I just bought 560 to try it. I had to buy $150 worth of it, and I liked it, so. The only noticeable thing that it does worse than 559, and it does produce a little bit more soot, but that's not really a big issue, honestly. This area I'm concerned about a little bit, especially this chip. Want a nice good reflow on this chip, so it's completely liquid. Two resistors next to chip look funny. Those resistors look perfectly fine. They're just a little bit corroded, and that's going to be solved with the flux. That does not look concerning to me. Arnold, those are fine. Same with these. That's just smoothing caps for PP bus, and these look fine. We could touch these up a little bit, but they're not an issue. Non-issue. Can I throw my phone in a river? Please? Alright, I have to do something, so... Piernov, yes, I believe the forum is up and running. I have to cut the stream off, guys. I have to do something. So I will see you guys in the next one. I apologize.